morning and welcome into the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. Coming up today, Aurora Police launch a senior safety unit. Federal disaster relief is denied for McHenry County storm damage. And what does the last-minute fix for the transit budget gap really mean? We're hitting our 6th week of a shutdown stalemate as well. So lots of different things to discuss here on the WRMN 10 o'clock news. It's currently 53 degrees here in the Fox River Valley as we march up to this beautiful sunny day's high of 59. Tomorrow we get a little bit of cloud coverage and a few more degrees as we get up to 61 with a low of 49. Wednesday, most of the sun returns as we get a high of 58 and a low of 32. And then Thursday, cloud coverage again with a high of 58 and a low of 49. These are the lottery drawing numbers for Sunday, November 2nd. Remember, you have 1 year to pick it up. Good luck. Midday pick 3 comes in at 1, 2, 7 with an 8 on the end. And the midday pick 4 comes in at 5, 4, 8, 0 with a 5 on the end there. The evening pick 3, 5, 0, 4 with a 7 on the end. And the evening pick 4, 1, 4, 8, 0 with a 2. Midday lucky, 8, 19, 39, 40, and 42. The evening lucky, 3, 13, 18, 32, and 44. Let's head on over to Geneva, where the Geneva Holiday House Tour has started. Tickets are on sale for the Holiday House Tour, which is scheduled for December 5th and 6th in Geneva. Tickets are $42 and include admission to all 5 homes, a holiday tea, and a gift. Buy tickets at genevachamber.com or at the Geneva office at 8 South 3rd Street in Geneva or by phone 630-232-6060 and at some merchants. A full list of ticket locations is on the Chamber's website. Arlington Heights Road will be impacted by construction in 2 locations during the overnight hours of Monday night into Tuesday morning. Both projects are required in order to make certain water main connections. Beginning at 7 p.m. Monday, construction on Euclid Avenue in Arlington Heights Road will require lane reductions, but 1 lane in both directions, north and south, will remain open. Construction will require the complete closure for Euclid from Dunton Avenue to Arlington Heights Road, and detours will be in place. Beginning at midnight, construction at Arlington Heights and Algonquin roads will include lane closures just south of Algonquin. However, 1 lane in each direction will remain open. Village staff will be on site at both locations to address any traffic issues that arise. Closures are anticipated to be completed by 7 a.m. on Tuesday. Before we head on over to our break, let's talk about a veterans brunch and an exhibit. The Downers Grove Park District is hosting a special Veterans Day brunch and pop-up exhibit on local military history and veterans. Honoring our heroes, a Veterans Day brunch will be at 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Friday, November 7th at the Lincoln Center. Bring any mementos to add to the temporary exhibit. Brunch is free to veterans. Veterans and their plus one should email museum@dgparks.org to RSVP and provide proof of service, such as a military or VA card. All children age 4 or older must be registered with a registered adult. Cost is $16 to $24. Register at dgparks.org. When we come back, Lake Villa Library events and a few more issues here closer to home, including what does the last-minute fix for the transit budget gap really mean? Also, school's advocate and supporter is selected for the District 128 board. More things happening here and around the Fox River Valley on the WRMN 10 o'clock news.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
They're simple, boring, never thought of until they're needed. They're windshield wipers. Only when Mary Anderson became annoyed that New York trolley drivers were stopping to wipe their windshield by hand did anybody do something about it. By attaching a spring-loaded arm to a rubber blade, one woman made travel easier and safer. Look to innovate and pass it on. From passiton.com.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
The WRMN 10 o'clock news. Lake Villa District Library is celebrating all things photography throughout November with Photovember, a variety of programs from learning how to organize print photos to taking great photos with a smartphone and participating in an awkward photo party are planned. Ample selfie stations and opportunities to enjoy the fun of a photo booth are other activities. The library has focused on a single theme during November with the past few years. Visit lvdl.org or call 847-356-7711 for a list of Photovember programs and activities. Uncertainty over SNAP deepens as a shutdown fight reaches a critical point. This comes from the AP out of Washington. The crises at the heart of the government shutdown fight in Washington are coming to a head Saturday As the federal food assistance program faced delays in millions of Americans were set to see a dramatic rise in their health insurance bills. The effect on basic needs, food, and medical care underscored how the impasse is hitting homes across the United States. Plans by the Trump administration to freeze payments to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program on Saturday were halted by federal judges, but the delay in payouts will still likely leave millions of people short on their grocery bills. It all added to the strain on the country, with a month of missed paychecks for federal workers and growing air travel delays. The shutdown is already the second longest in history and entered its second month on Saturday. Reverend John Udo Kwan says, "This is more than a crisis." He runs the Word of Life Christian Fellowship International Food Pantry in the Bronx, where hundreds more people than usual lined up in the New York borough as early as 4 a.m. Saturday to collect groceries. He said, "Right now, you can see the desperation, you can feel the frustration that the people are going through." But back in Washington, there was little urgency to end the government funding impasse. Lawmakers are away from Capitol Hill, and both parties are entrenched in their positions. The House has not met for legislative business in more than 6 weeks, while Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a Republican for South Dakota, closed his chamber for the week after bipartisan talks failed to achieve significant progress. Thune said he is hoping, quote, "the pressure starts to intensify and the consequences of keeping the government shut down become even more real for everybody, that they will express, hopefully, new interests in trying to come up with a path forward." The stalemate appears increasingly unstable as Republican President Donald Trump demands action, and Democratic leaders warn that an uproar over rising health insurance costs will force Congress to act. Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer of New York said this weekend, Americans face a health care crisis unprecedented in modern times. The Department of Agriculture planned to withhold $8 billion needed for payments to the food program starting on Saturday until 2 federal judges ordered the administration to make them. The president said he would provide the money, but wanted more legal direction from the court. On Saturday, U.S. District Judge John J. McConnell in Rhode Island ordered that the government needed to tell the court by Monday how it would fund SNAP accounts. McConnell, who was nominated by President Barack Obama, said the current administration needed to either make a full payment by Monday, or if it decides to only tap $3 billion in a contingency fund, figure out how to do that by Wednesday. McConnell wrote in his order, "There is no question that the congressionally approved contingency funds must be used now because of the shutdown. But that still leaves uncertainty about whether the department will use additional money or only provide partial benefits for the month. Benefits were already facing delays because it takes a week or more to load SNAP cards in many states. Some governors and mayors have stepped in using what money they have available to fill the program that feeds about 42 million Americans." Joe Corbin, the director of St. Vincent de Paul Soup Kitchen and Food Pantry in Norwich, Connecticut, "It's not really a definite answer that we have right now. People are just nervous and scared." As people lined up early Saturday for hot meals and groceries, the organization had 10 extra volunteers to help newcomers navigate the process. On Wednesday, some 400 families visited the food pantry and 555 people received hot meals. It's kind of like everything is unraveling at the same time, Corbin said. House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York criticized the president for spending Saturday at one of his Florida golf courses, saying on social media that, quote, Trump and Republicans are illegally withholding SNAP benefits. Millions of children could go hungry. The annual sign-up period for Affordable Care Act health insurance also begins Saturday, and there are sharp increases in what people will have to pay for coverage. Enhanced tax credits that help most enrollees pay for the health plans are set to expire next year. Democrats have rallied around to push to extend those credits and have refused to vote for government funding legislation until Congress acts. Senator Jeanine Shaheen, a Democrat of New Hampshire, said in a statement, millions of Americans in every state across the country are waking up to drastically higher premiums for the same health care coverage they're already on. If Congress does not extend the credits, subsidized enrollees will face cost increase of about 114%, or more than $1,000 per year on average, healthcare research nonprofit the Kaiser Family Foundation found. To read more, go on over to the Associated Press's website, ap.com. When we come back, we will talk about the last-minute fix for the transit budget gap. And a community crisis center marks 50 years. Stick around, more WRMN 10 o'clock news after this. Systems run everything. Government, economy, media, justice. They shape your choices, your opportunities, your future. But do they work for you or against you? On Apolitical Talk Show, we break them down, not to destroy, but to understand. Because if you don't see how the system works, you won't see when it's being manipulated or who's benefiting from it. Power belongs to those who know the rules, challenge the loopholes, and demand accountability. That starts with knowledge. That starts here. Join us weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. as we uncover what's really happening behind the headlines so you can decide for yourself what's fair, what's broken, and what needs to change. Apolitical Talk Show, breaking down the systems to build them up together. Right here, weekdays 4 to 6 on WRMN, the talk of the town.
Looking to buy or sell a home in Chicagoland? Need trusted legal help with real estate, evictions, or estate planning? Turn to Guthrie & Brady, the happy lawyers serving the greater Chicago area since 1965. With over 50 years of experience, they handle titles and deeds, foreclosures, landlord-tenant issues, wills, trusts, and more. Appointments available evenings or weekends at their Roselle office or right in your home. Call Guthrie & Brady now at 847-524-1215. That's 847-524-1215. Or visit gnblegal.com. Guthrie & Brady, personal, professional, affordable legal services for all of Chicagoland. The happy lawyers since 1965. That's gnblegal.com. Or 847-524-1215. Guthrie & Brady, trusted legal help made easy, fast, affordable, and experienced. Call today.
Chicago defense attorney Mark Sheblow has co-authored the book titled DUI Jury Trial, which is a true story of a DUI case that he defended. The accused was an Illinois truck driver arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol. This book contains facts about the case from the date of the arrest up to the jury's verdict, and this nonfiction novel also includes the transcripts from the jury trial itself. The book DUI Jury Trial is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. A school advocate and supporter is selected for the District 128 board. The newest Libertyville Vernon Hills Area High School District 128 school board member will be making a return to public office. At a special meeting on Wednesday, Vernon Hills resident Julie Simpson unanimously was selected by the District 128 board to fill a vacancy created by the recent resignation of Lisa Hessel. There were 22 applicants for the seat, and the field was narrowed to 6 finalists. Simpson will serve the remainder of Hessel's term that ends in April of 2027. She said, "I'm grateful for the opportunity in such a crowded field. I'm sure it was a tough decision." In 2017, Simpson was elected to a 4-year term on the Hawthorne Elementary District 73 school board, but left that position after being elected in 2018 to a 4-year term on the Lake County board. Simpson chose not to run for re-election in 2022, as she would have faced another incumbent when the districts were redrawn per state law following the decennial census. She was among 4 candidates who ran unopposed for 4 seats on the District 73 board in 2023, but resigned for personal reasons and was not sworn in. Simpson is a parent of a current and future Vernon Hills High School student and a, quote, big public school advocate and supporter. She said, "At District 73 and 128, I grew up in the area and chose to move to Vernon Hills because I believe the education children receive is outstanding." Board President Jim Baston says Simpson brings valuable leadership and experience and a strong commitment to our community. County board members also serve as Forest Preserve commissioners. During her tenure, Simpson was elected by peers as Forest Preserve's vice president. Simpson works at Lakeside Transportation. She'll take the oath of office before Monday's board committee meeting at the Libertyville High School. Stick around, we've got more to talk about here, including what does this last-minute fix for the transit budget gap really mean, here on the WRMN 10 o'clock news.
WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A fire destroyed a house in the 400 block of Grant Place in Aurora early Thursday morning after flames broke out in the attic. Police helped evacuate 2 residents and their dogs, but smoke prevented clearing the remaining units. Firefighters battled the blaze, conducted searches, and performed extensive overhaul due to fire hidden in void spaces. The home was declared uninhabitable, and utility companies and the Red Cross assisted displaced tenants with shelter. Ahead of Batavia High School's playoff game against Hoffman Estates High School tonight, District 101 issued guidelines to promote a positive, respectful, and inclusive environment. Fans are encouraged to cheer for their team in good plays, but booing, swearing, public intoxication, and targeting individual players or referees are prohibited. Violating the rules may result in removal from the game or suspension from future events. The game starts at 6 p.m. tonight at Bulldog Stadium, with tickets available at the door or online. Naperville will host its annual Field of Healing Honor from November 7th to November 12th, featuring hundreds of American flags to honor veterans and service members. The display aims to include at least 2,205 flags, with a ceremony on November 6th at Rotary Hills Hill to kick off the event, highlighted by a daily performance of Taps at 5 p.m. A Veterans Day observance will take place on November 11th at 11 a.m. Residents can purchase flags to be included in the display to honor a veteran or service member. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed an executive order Thursday allocating $20 million to support food banks across the state, anticipating increased demand as nearly 2 million Illinoisans risk losing SNAP benefits tomorrow. The funding will help 7 food banks that supply over 2,600 pantries statewide, addressing widespread food insecurity, including 1 in 5 households in the Chicago area. Pritzker criticized the federal government, saying the loss of benefits is a political move that leaves families, seniors, and people with disabilities without crucial support. The state will work with food banks, grocers, and community organizations to provide relief amid the federal cuts. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has 2 convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blade. Today, elevated fire weather conditions this afternoon due to gusty winds up to 30 miles per hour and low humidity. Today, sunny with a high near 59, temperatures falling to around 52 in the afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 35. Currently, it is 52 degrees with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
To the WRMN 10 o'clock news. It's currently sunny and a beautiful 54 degrees out in the Fox River Valley. We're marching our way up to now a high of 60 on this sunny day. Tomorrow, the clouds are going to come in just a little bit for a high of 61 and a low of 49. And then Wednesday, the sun returns for the majority of the day, and that'll be a high of 58 and a low of 32. Our next story comes from the Daily Herald, right from the front page. Check it out at thedailyherald.com. What does the last-minute fix for transit budget gap mean? And why the 45-cent toll hike? In 2011, after months of public hearings and detailed presentations, the Illinois Tollway directors took the controversial step of nearly doubling rates to fund a massive road building program. Last week, in a matter of hours, the Illinois General Assembly approved a 45-cent toll hike that will generate $1 billion a year for an undefined capital plan. Republican State Senator Don DeWitt of St. Charles said it represents over $1 billion in a tax increase for people who count on the tollway day in and day out. The curious tollway incident, however, was just a sideshow in the legislative package recurring Metra, PACE, and the CTA from a looming shortfall with a $1.5 billion annual infusion. The CTA chairman, Kirk Dillard, said the legislator stepped up with the governor and closed the fiscal cliff, so that's great news for riders and Chicagoland's economy. The Dos Machina 45-cent toll hike on passenger vehicles introduced Thursday and passed in the wee hours on Friday was a little surprising. For starters, the money won't go to transit. Instead, it's a windfall for the tollway, one of the wealthiest agencies in the state. Senate Republican leader John Curran of Downers Grove said, "This came out of left field. The case can be made always on future build-out, expansion, and capital, but that case was never made, and that's not how this should happen. So why did it happen? The provision satisfies powerful labor unions concerned about diverting money from the road fund, who squelched a proposal this spring to hike tolls specifically for transit. For a commuter who pays 2 tolls on weekdays and takes 2 weeks of vacation, it will cost an extra $450 more a year. Although 45 cents sounds like a small amount, DeWitt noted, quote, you got to get on and off, which automatically doubles it to damn near $1 a trip. It's a tax increase, primarily affecting suburban drivers. Democratic State Rep Mary Beth Canty of Arlington Heights acknowledged these decisions are never easy. I know that the cost of living is incredibly high right now, but these increasing and expanding services mean that we need more capital dollars to do that. The quicker that we can start expanding our transit options for people so they're not forced to take the tollways or drive, the better off we will all be. The tollway was still studying the bill Friday. Officials could not comment about the vote and said timing was not yet determined. But a quote from Executive Director Raus said, We commend our leadership in Springfield for passing new transit legislation that strengthens Illinois regional transportation network and our economy. With federal COVID-19 dollars running out, public transit faced $23 million budget gap in 2026 that was estimated to climb to $834 million in 2027. Metra, PACE, and the CTA all warned of 40% cuts in services. Now, says State Transportation Committee Chair Ram Bavilan of Chicago, we have passed robust reforms that will make our system safer, more reliable, and more accessible and more integrated. It means more frequent trains and buses, transit ambassadors to guide riders, and improve suburb-to-suburb commutes, advocates said. In addition, the legislation sets up a task force to develop a program to reduce crime. Also coming, universal fares. Canty said, I want that to be first on the docket to get done. The $1.5 billion includes $860 million derived by shifting sales tax revenue on motor fuel to transit, $200 million from interest in the state's road construction fund, and $478 million from raising the RTA's sales tax by 0.25 percentage points. Curran argued this raises approximately triple the dollars needed to plug the shortfalls in transit. All along, I wanted to see protection for suburban taxpayers to ensure that they would not be on the hook for the CTA's massive unfunded pension liability. There is no protection in this for suburban taxpayers. The legislation also replaces the RTA with the Northern Illinois Transit Authority, a 20-member board with stronger oversight of Metra, PACE, and the CTA. The governor, mayor of Chicago, and Cook County board chair would appoint 5 members each. The board chairs of DuPage, Kane, Lake, McHenry, and Will would choose 1 each. Kane, DuPage, and McHenry mayors, quote, remain very concerned that not having equity in voting on the new NITA board will set them up to be absolutely steamrolled, DeWitt said on the Senate floor. Vavillum noted that the Senate must confirm the governor's NTA appointees. While downstate districts are expected to lose road dollars, GOP state rep Kif Kriker of Sycamore said, it's another rob Peter to pay Paul scenario. It's Springfield, Republican State Rep Brad Stevens of Rosemont said, there is no bill that's perfect. There are some downsides to this bill, but I believe, for the most part, this is somewhat of a try and fix all thing. When we come back, we'll talk about a community crisis center that is celebrating 50 years. Also, more local stories here, including South Elgin also celebrating something, the opening of a new accessible boat launch. Stick around, more news here on WRMN's 10 o'clock news.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Attention all sports fans. Get the latest issue of the Chicago Sports Journal featuring player profiles, team schedules, ballpark photos, and more. Visit CHISportsJournal.com. Chicago sports fans are raving about the latest issue of the Chicago Sports Journal featuring owner profiles, book reviews, cafe, bar, and restaurant reviews, specials, and more. Pick up your copy of the Chicago Sports Journal at Metro train stations, retail locations throughout Chicagoland, or visit CHISportsJournal.com today.
The WRMN 10 o'clock news. You need us right here, and we are. Community Crisis Center marks 50 years. This is by Rick West from the Daily Herald. Community Crisis Center Executive Director Maureen Manning likens what they do to insurance. You hope you never have to use it. She said, but when you do, you really want us to be there. The Elgin organization has been there for people in a crisis 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, for 50 years. Manning said, when you're hungry, when you don't have a roof over your head, when someone's abusing you, you need us in that moment. You don't want an appointment 6 months from now. You need us to be right there, and we are. That makes us really unique. Founded by volunteers in 1975, the center is now one of the oldest domestic violence shelters in Illinois. But Manning, who has been there for 48 of the 50 years, says that's only part of how they serve the community. She said Community Crisis Center is a really good name for us because it's an umbrella over all our programs. The nonprofit also has programs for victims of sexual assault and gives shelter and food to people in economic crisis. The staff offers individual and group counseling for adults and children, as well as medical and legal advocacy. A 24/7 crisis hotline for people seeking help with situations including domestic violence, sexual assault, homelessness, suicide, and other crisis situations has fielded more than 670,000 calls in the last 50 years. Manning said much of what they've done had little precedent in the beginning, so they figured it out as they went along. In 1982, she started a partner abuse intervention program, which counsels perpetrators in an effort to stop the cycle of violence. Manning said, at the time, we were told, you don't want to work with those guys. They're crazy. But these guys aren't pathological. They're normal people with bad behavior. Jail's not turning it around for them. Counseling works. It was at first and now the longest running program of its kind in Illinois. The organization also was a charter member for the Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence and the Coalition Against Sexual Assault. Last year, the center served more than 4,100 clients, providing 47,610 meals to 1,089 households and distributed 707 coats to 257 families, delivered 55,838 diapers to 400 households, and provided over $700,000 in rental assistance to prevent evictions and maintain housing. Manning said, "We've impacted people in a lot of different ways in this community," adding that she constantly meeting people who say they stayed at the center as kids or adults or have family members who have been helped by their services. Events have been held throughout the year to mark the 50th anniversary. They're holding fundraising raffle with a $5,000 grand prize at their annual gala on November 6th. Tickets, which are $10 or $3 for $25, are available on their website. Some tickets remain for the nearly sold-out gala. The tickets are $50 each and on sale through November 3rd. Manning said uncertainty about federal funding and the economy are always concerns, but the community has been there to help. She said, "We just have to keep moving forward. We're going to keep our doors open, and we're going to continue to serve the community and be here 24/7 for survivors who need us." When we come back, we'll talk about the new accessible boat launch over in South Elgin. Also, we've got a few more local stories to get through, especially protecting your pets from the young coyotes on the move during the colder months. Stick around for more WRMN 10 o'clock news.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. There's a new accessible paddle sport launch in South Elgin. Will make it easier for people of all abilities to launch kayaks, canoes, and paddle boats into the Fox River. The village will host a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the launch located on the east bank of the river at Seba Park, 151 Water Street, today at 4:30. The project, one of 5 such launches recently installed along the Fox River in Illinois, was completed through a partnership with the Kane County Development Department and was paid for with American Rescue Plan Act funds. So check it out. Go on over to 151 Water Street for that ceremony today. Also, as we get into these colder months, young coyotes are on the move. This comes from Shaw Local News Network. Fall is a bold time for young coyotes. It's their season to branch away from their family packs, striking out for new territories to call their own. As sightings increase during dispersal season, here's what you need to know to ensure you coexist peacefully with these wild canine neighbors. Coyotes are found statewide in Illinois, ranging from 20 to 40 pounds, with gray and reddish fur. They can be distinguished from dogs by their slender build and pointed muzzle. As they become more visible in the neighborhood, parks, and along roadways, some smart safety tips can help you keep you and your pets safe. Will County Sheriff's Office said in a recent social media post, "If you encounter a coyote, do not run. Stand tall and make yourself look big. Make noise, clap, yell, or use a whistle to scare it away. Keep pets leashed. Supervise them, especially at dawn and dusk. And secure food sources. Don't leave pet food or trash outside." The sheriff's office said coyotes generally are shy and avoid people. While coyotes have been known to target smaller dogs, they typically eat mice, rabbits, and carrion in their native woodland, wooded bluffs, and prairie habitats, according to the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. The IDNR recommends using fencing or kennel runs to ensure the safety of small pets. To read more, head on over to the Shaw Local News Network. Lots more to come here on the WRMN airwaves. Stick around. We've got Wise Coffee Chat, Out to Lunch. We've also got Talk Time with Tammy and Friends, and I'll be back at 4 o'clock for Apolitical Talk Show right before Big Top Sports. Local programming, always here on a local station, WRMN.